It is Sunday, January 18th, 2026, and the Chili Bowl has concluded, which means we are going to recap everything. We're going to talk every day, what we saw, the things that we're excited to see going forward as we enter now what is officially going to be a new season of sprint car racing. Welcome in. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is Sprint Car Central. I appreciate your guys' support over the last week or so. This week was a first for me. I have not really for those that know, I've covered college football for a while and decided to make the transition to come back to racing because I love it, for one. Um, but because I've started to fall out of love of what college football is. That's a whole nother story. That's not what this is about. But so this is the first time that I've really covered racing in depth like this for a week straight. And I had a lot of fun with it. There were a lot of things I've learned, and I appreciate you guys being here and kind of helping me gather through these. I'm going to talk more about that at the end, but I thank you guys for the help. And I thank you guys for the support, the likes, the comments, the feedback. That's been greatly appreciated. And I implore you to please continue so I can continue to build this, continue to grow, continue to improve my craft here in the space that is sprint car racing. So I thank y'all so much. Welcome in, and let's go ahead and get into today's show, which is really just a recap of everything we saw the last week. It was a fun week. We watched a lot of different drivers make names for themselves, kind of put themselves on the map in a lot of ways. And we saw some drivers that kind of had a disappointing week, not the week they were expecting. Some favorites that we saw have some problems and have to try to make their way through the soup and do what they could. We're going to talk about as much of that as we can possibly fit into a relatively quick show today. Because again, it is just a recap. There's not a whole lot to talk about. You guys already saw it, so I don't feel the need to, I don't feel the need to give you guys a full on week, race by race, day by day recap, but just kind of go through the things that we saw. And it all started Monday night. The Race of Champions. Christopher Bell was able to capture the win, go 1-for-1 in his own car. Kyle Larson would go on to capture the Monday night victory. Tuesday, I'm going to go back through my list here, just make sure I'm not missing anything. Um, and then of course Briggs Zanner, of course, avenged his crash last year in the Monday night prelim to go on and punch his ticket to the big show. On Tuesday, we ended up seeing Blake Hahn go from 8-1, pull off a bit of an upset, a surprise day. On Tuesday night, we saw a handful of drivers have problems. Of course, some favorites too. Michael Pickens was a guy that a lot of people were excited about. Jace Park had to make a run through the soup on Saturday because he didn't make the feature. Kaylee Bryson got put behind the 8 ball early and was never able to catch up. So, with that, Blake Hahn was able to make a lot of things happen, was able to go and again from 8-1 to get the victory on Tuesday night and punch his ticket to the Saturday feature. It was a big deal for him given the family history at the Expo Center. Hank Davis would also join him. Hank Davis would go on to have a great day on Saturday as well in his feature run. On Thursday, we'd see Christopher Bell go 2-for-2 in his brand new car. He tied Kyle Larson. Both of them now have 9 prelim feature victories. They both hold the record together. CJ Leary would also join Christopher Bell on a Saturday main. And then, of course, Friday, Logan Seavey would continue his dominance on Friday with another victory. I believe that's now 4 in a row on Friday from 23 to 26. Beating Justin Grant, who would join him in the Saturday feature. Probably the best track of the week was Friday night. It was very technical, very much a cowboy up type of racetrack, I guess is a word I would use. And we gained a lot of hope. The tracks were great day in, day out. Monday was probably the worst, and it built up to Friday, which was the best. And then Saturday, kudos to what they were able to do, because this is not an easy thing to do, to run thousands of laps on this racetrack and be able to put things together, close to 1,000 laps on this racetrack, and be able to keep it together for the whole time without all the reworks and everything. They did a great job. They let the track run where it needed to. They've made adjustments where they needed to. And I thought they did a really great job on Saturday. As for Saturday, we had a handful of storylines, including multiple guys kind of setting some history with multiple runs through the soup. And it was started off by Darren Nida going through 9 feature events before eventually being eliminated. Darren really proved himself on Saturday, and he's a kid who has been looking to do just that, kind of prove himself on that stage. And if anybody needed any indication of what kind of driver he is, they just saw it. Now we're going to be looking forward to having him on the show here in the next couple of weeks, and I'm really looking forward to what he has to say about the week that was and how that's going to progress forward and what kind of confidence that builds. But Darren Ida was great. Mac Leopard was fantastic. The only one to really outdo what Darren Ida did, and he went through, I think, what did he eventually get to? I can't remember. I think he got up to a D main, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe got cut a little short of that, but Mac Leopard was fantastic as well. We had a few others. Jace Park made his best effort, but it was fun to watch a lot of guys kind of just make their runs, be methodical, be smart, but be aggressive, and we saw it be clean. That was the best part about this week. Was it was probably one of the cleanest Chili Bowls in terms of racecraft that we've seen in a really long time. It was refreshing. You watch a lot of young kids go out there, younger drivers. I shouldn't say young kids. I mean, look, I'm 25. I'm a younger guy in terms of the racing world, but you watch a lot of kids that are coming up here and they're 14, 15, 16. Jet Barnes, perfect example. Such a fun racer to watch because he's clean, but he's very smart and very fast already at just 14 years old. But you watch a lot of kids that'll come up and they don't learn that racecraft. They watch guys throw hellacious sliders and fence other racers. And what we saw through the course of the week was not a lot of that. I mean, we had our moments, certainly, and those moments came from guys who are experienced enough to know better, you'd think. But at the same time, it was still a really clean event. It was still a really fun event to watch. It didn't become too chaotic, and that was the best part. Everybody was able to race pretty naturally, and it became a really fun event to watch. I keep saying really. I'm going to look for another word. But that was kind of the way that I took away from the racing in general. You get to feature time, and of course, Kyle Larson leads everybody to the green, but it was without quick effort that Emerson Axsom was able to go ahead and take that lead away and really control the race from there on. Look, there's one thing for certain is that the Swindell Speed Lab cars are arguably some of the best, if not the best, there right now at Tulsa, and it was shown from the very beginning. Axsom was great, CV was great, and there were a handful of others that had really good runs as well. It was really fun to watch how they were able to make things happen. I'm looking forward to kind of seeing what happens in the midget ranks this year because I think it's going to be. There's a lot of good drivers coming up who are going to start racing a lot more, and we're going to see a bit of a change probably at the top from guys like Cannon McIntosh. We'll see him stay up there, but others. But this is kind of what this turned into, is making me excited for what's to come this year. The biggest mover in the feature was Kevin Thomas Jr. going up 16 spots to finish second. He came out of a B main and was able to make it all the way up to the front and able to close it out with that final 2-lap run that we watched. I believe it wasn't Grant and CV. What was it? Was it CV and I assume Danner probably. I can't remember exactly who it was, but that battle turned into KTJ getting by and taking second place. So a really good effort from those guys, and a really good feature. It came to be a lot of fun, very technical. The top side became dominant, but it wasn't overwhelmingly dominant. There were still 8 moves to be made at the bottom, but all in all, a really great feature. Congratulations to Emerson Axsom, again, getting that first Chili Bowl Nationals Championship, holding off some of the best to do it. Of course, Kyle Larson was the original big contender there, and after his flip and done for the day, we still saw Logan Seavey, Justin Grant, multiple guys try to challenge, and at the end of the day, Axsom was just considerably better than everybody else around that place. Hank Davis, Logan Seavey, Briggs Danner finished your top 5. My pick was Dason Pursley. He finishes 6th, which I believe is where he started. So not a great race for him. I feel like there was a lot of places that were missed. A lot of things that hindsight looks 2020 on. The outside view would be 2020 on. But all in all, a great feature, a great event, and as we always are excited for it every year, we're excited to see it come back again next year, and already looking forward to who will be some of the contenders next season, some of the upsets, some of the fun guys to watch. Jet Barnes is Rookie of the Year, of course, making the feature in his first ever attempt. Congratulations to him, man. Again, he's a very talented racer, a very smart racer, and the racecraft at 14 years old is incredible. There's a lot of older guys that would do to take some notes from that kid. So with that said, that's kind of it. Again, I think it was a fantastic week. I just kind of wanted to come on and give some generalized thoughts. I appreciate you guys doing it again. It was so cool to watch the subscriber count rise. And granted, we're at 17. I know that's nothing crazy, but watching it rise, watching the comments kind of flow in, the feedback and different things was really cool. I just thank you guys so much. We've got so much more content coming your way, including season previews are going to be getting going here very soon. As a matter of fact, next week you will see our first season preview of the 2026 year as we preview the World of Outlaws as they get ready to get going with the Dirt Car Nationals coming up from February 4th to 7th. That'll be our next time that you'll see us on kind of a daily basis. We'll kind of recap everything as they chase the Big Gator Championship. But it's going to be a fun one to watch there. Really excited to see where that turns into and how that turns out. We'll have series previews for World of Outlaws, High Limit, All-Star Circuit of Champions, and of course we will be previewing the USAC season. I'm very excited to talk a little bit more about USAC. Of course, the news that Cody Swanson's taken over, especially on the Silver Crown side, is a really exciting premise going forward. I'm a big Silver Crown fan. Look, that's probably my guilty pleasure of sprint car racing is Silver Crown, and so I'm looking forward to seeing the changes and how that leadership model takes place under Cody Swanson, a guy who's very experienced and kind of knows the ins and outs of the sport. We'll preview all of those. We have some interviews coming down the line. I mentioned Darren Nida. He will be, I presume, the first one that we release. We have a couple lined up. I think 2 or 3 at the moment lined up, and a handful more to go. We will also have All-Star Circuit Champions announcer Alex Robinson on at some point, as well as we kind of preview and talk a little bit about the upcoming season. I don't know exactly when that will happen, but we will have him on here as well. We've got a lot of fun stuff planned, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what we're able to do with the year ahead. I think there's a lot of fun opportunities that are going to present themselves, and it's going to be really exciting to watch how they all unfold and how we can, again, continue to produce good content. That's my biggest goal. Look, I don't have any interest in being an announcer. To be completely honest, I don't know that I'd be ever good at it, but I certainly want to be around this sport, and that's something that I've had to really come to terms with over the last couple of years, trying to find an identity where I wanted to put my interests and my content, how I wanted to do it. And finally, I found something that I think makes sense for me. So it's really cool. And I appreciate you guys tuning in. It means a lot that anybody sits here and listens to me run my mouth, whether it's for 13 minutes as we've done so far, or 60 minutes if we do a live podcast, or the interviews that could go on to an hour. So there's a lot of really cool things and a lot of really cool conversations that I'm excited to get into, and really cool topics of conversation. I'm going to be going through the rule books a little bit and kind of getting a better understanding for what I don't know about these cars, and more so the nuances and different things that have changed so far. Look, I am a student of the game to the very maximum level you can find it, and there are a lot of things that I don't know yet, and I'm not afraid to admit that I don't know them, and I certainly welcome those different conversations and that bit of education to be put in the comments. I don't have any issue with that. The comments are there for a reason. I will never turn them off. I will never not have them. Whether you like me, don't like me, please put them there. I welcome that stuff, because at least I can understand where I'm hitting and where I'm missing, if that makes sense. This is a passion project for me. For those who don't know, I work a full-time job. I don't intend, and I don't care if I ever make a dime off of this. This is simply because I love the sport, and it's something to give me that creative outlet to do more and converse more about the world of sprint car racing, understand the things I don't know, find the things I don't know, and gain a better knowledge base to go forward and continue to try to put, my own little, I guess, personality into it. I just appreciate it. Again, there's a love there that is not really matched by any other sport, any other thing really at this moment. So I just again appreciate it. Look forward to this season. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I know I've kind of gone on a little bit of a rant, a little ramble, but it was important to me to kind of speak from the heart a little bit at the end of this, because this was a fun week and I really enjoyed it, and it was really cool to know there were people that sat here and watched these episodes and enjoyed them too. So I thank you guys. I'm looking forward to this year coming up. We're going to spend a lot of time focusing on the All-Stars, because I think there's a lot of people covering everything else. But I'm going to focus on everything. This is Sprint Car Central. Like, I intend to have everything sprint car racing here. We are going to talk about ASCS, USCS. We'll talk about IRA. We will talk about Power I. Like, all of those things are still going to be here on this channel. We're going to talk about everything that we can find and watch. And we'll just see where things go. So let me know what you guys want to see. Different types of content, different types of things. If you see this and there's some kind of inquiry or anything you're curious about, I have social media. All the social medias that you see down below are there. Your best bets to reach me are going to be Facebook or X, and those DMs are open. They will stay open unless I start getting a bunch of spam shit, and then we'll probably close them down a little bit. But you can mention me. You can do whatever you need to do. It's all appreciated. And it's all welcome. I'm around almost all day, at least with my phone near me. So yeah, I appreciate it. I thank you guys so much. I hope you all have a great rest of your weekend, rest of your week, as we go into another new one. And we're coming up. The World of Outlaws late model season starts this week, as the Wild West Shootout closes out tonight. There's a lot of different things there. I've been enjoying the Wild West Shootout. I am not a late model fan. I honestly have no interest in covering that side of things. And that's just an honest take. It's not a dig. I think it's fun. It's fun to watch. I've enjoyed the Wild West Shootout. But it's not something I've been around. So, it's hard for me to sit here. It'd feel very fake to get into that more so than this. So, I'm going to partake. I'm going to watch them. I may talk a little bit about them here and there. I'm going to try to use the social medias a little more here and there as time goes on and time allows. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I thank you guys again. Hope you all have a great rest of your day. And again, this has been Sprint Car Central. We'll see you guys in the next episode.